Hi, it's Dr. Teran, and you're listening to The Pop. The Pursuit of Peace podcast is brought to you by SP Consulting Group, where the mission is bringing your vision to life.
Hi, Tiffany.
Good afternoon.
How's it going?
It's going.
That doesn't sound too confident. What's up?
I'm trying to stay as positive as I can with everything that's going on. So, it's going.
What's bothering you the most? What's sticking out amongst it all?
So for a while, I've been having this internal battle of, do I be a stay-at-home mom or do I, continue working and, put my kids in daycare? And, Darren has been in daycare. I put him in daycare when he was 13, 14 months.
Okay.
And so, it was fine, but I always still sort of have this feeling of, am I being a bad parent because, he's at daycare for 7-8 hours and you really only have the evenings with him. So, in preparing to put Charlotte in daycare, I was kind of having that same internal struggle. Mm-hmm. However, with this corona,
yeah,
I'm ready I'm ready for both kids to be in daycare for as long as they will allow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a lot of those feelings, like it's like this up and down flux of emotions. Those feelings are not abnormal. You struggle with self-doubt every time that you're going through it. And so you never know. Even there's a fire alarm going on right now. They've been testing things because of the coronavirus. They're making sure everything, is in place. And that's the same thing with our lives in daycare versus just eating thoughts of being a parent. I do want to ask, though, because of that flux, what are some of the things that you may be doing to take care of yourself, to be kind to yourself? What are you doing?
Well, honestly, I just started to pay more attention to the need for self-care.
Right.
Before kids, I was very, adamant about making sure I took care of myself. I'd have my morning routine, in terms of, my beauty care, whatever you want to call it, nighttime routine. Now it's brush my teeth, but let's see when I can fit that in,
Shower. What?
Shower seems like such a luxury these days,
Right.
And when I do, in the times that I do go off and take a shower for longer than 30 minutes, I promise you, my husband brings Charlotte to the door so that I can hear that she's crying, which means it's time to get out.
Right.
So, I'm trying to be more of a stickler. No, I need to have this time to go shower. And if I'm in there for an hour, I'm in there for an hour. So I'm trying to be more intentional, but it still is that, I guess, just part of the struggle of trying to find time for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, I'm well, as long as the kids are okay, it doesn't really matter if, I shower today. We're not going anywhere anyway.
Okay, but tell me though, does it matter? We're going to get to the part, and I know that you're pressed for time because your little ones are up and getting up, mm-hmm. But we're going to talk about some of the things that you can make sure that you're putting in your routine. But tell me, what are your highs and your lows? I want to see how well you're doing. And then when things are not in place, you don't get that more than 30 minutes and it's consistent. Mm-hmm. what does your lows look like?
So when you say what are my highs, you mean like what are the highs of my day?
Yeah. Things that are making you feel good. You don't have those negative thought patterns going on about yourself. Yeah.
If I get up and can like get my breakfast, like me getting breakfast personally to eat, then I feel really good about myself. Or like if I am able to keep them on their schedule and their routine, I feel really good about that. And getting in their schedule and the things that I have to do, like maybe, with work, sending in emails or what have you, I feel really good about that. But if I don't keep my schedule, then I feel I'm kind of hard on myself, I guess. Like, why wasn't I able to do everything that I needed to do today? Like, why isn't dinner ready by 5:00? And so then that's what sort of starts the thought process of, okay, am I not handling this well? And if I'm not, why aren't I handling it well? Why can't I seem to stay on task? And then it just starts this process of kind of beating up on myself, which I'm like, I know I've always been an overachiever, and so I don't really know how to step outside of that thought pattern, You
sort of go down the rabbit hole, huh?
Exactly.
Well, okay. So what's really good is that you recognize it. That's first and foremost. I want to ask you, within that low, on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being I'm really at the point where I want to cry, or I just want to lock myself in the room and don't want to deal with anyone, and 10 being things are good, things are great. How low does your low take you when you go down that rabbit hole?
So, and I know this, it's hard to remember a low outside of the last week.
Okay.
So just within this last week, my lows have been, I want to lock myself in the bathroom with, a few bottles of gin, or maybe a couple of Coronas. I don't know.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Oh no.
So my lows have been pretty low. I don't prior to this, situation happened, I haven't been to the point where I'm like, I need a substance or I need, something else.
Right. And that's why I'm like, hey, this is not your normal. Okay.
Right. So it's not completely normal, but I would say, there have been times where I've had meltdowns where I've, wanted to just sort of go within myself or take a ride and just stay out for a while.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. And so when that happened, so the last time it happened was like a week ago. So when that happened, what did you do?
I got me some wine.
I thought you were going to say, I did get that gin.
Oh yeah, I did. I did have me some adult beverages. I did. Yeah, I did.
All right. And I hear you. And what's interesting is a lot of times that's where we go, the quick fix.
Yeah.
But something that I do want to share with you, and I know that I can share this with you without you feeling any judgment, because that isn't your normal go-to. And I know this is that when you are feeling, and I'm going to use what you're going through as a prime example, when you are feeling overwhelmed and even sometimes emotionally, mentally, physically depleted, your energy is low, a lot of your mood is low, a lot of things are low at that time. But what a lot of people don't realize is alcohol is a depressant.
Yeah.
So you may feel as if, oh, I'm loose, I don't have a care in the world. But actually you have that feeling because in your body, like you may have been feeling it, oh, I'm tired, my body's tired, I'm frustrated, I just don't want to deal with this. But then your actual organs are at that point being impacted by the alcohol, be operating just as slow. And that's why your body starts to go into that dance of, oh, I feel free.
Right.
Because you had it, that it's actually helping, when actually almost doubling down, if not more, depending on how much you drink. And I just want you to be aware of that. Some of the things that you want to keep in mind, and I know that at times it goes in and out of being aware of it, especially depending on how frustrated you get in those lows. But what I want to challenge you to do is think about the things that give you energy. When you're low, even though that's probably the opposite that you want to do those things. And it's not only something that's healthy, but it's also something that is going to give you that boost of energy that you need, whether it's the type of foods, whether it's a smoothie. I need to take a break, have a smoothie, go sit out on the porch or open up the window, whatever the situation is, especially since we're having to do this social distancing. You want to find a way to disconnect in a healthy way that's going to bring about the energy that you want to have to then be more productive. Because let me ask you, how productive have you been after those glasses of wine?
Oh, yeah, it's usually, lights out.
Okay.
It's usually bedtime.
So are you seeing the cycle?
Yeah, definitely.
Then I'm wondering, and I could assume that then when you wake up frustrated at things that didn't get done.
Right. Because I hate going to bed and there's like dishes or, things are like not cleaned up. So yeah, if I go to bed and then don't finish up those things and then wake up the next day and it's like, it totally throws off the morning. So now I'm not on my routine again. And I'm like trying to do that and do everything else that I'm supposed to start my day out with.
Yeah. So what are some things that come to mind just off the bat? It doesn't have to be anything fantastic. What are some of the things that you've done in the house that gave you a little boost of energy or got you excited?
Well, recently, I was really excited because I put together some like little crafts and stuff for Darren, so that was fun. Okay. And then like just organizing some things that I've been like, I need to get this organized, for the past since we moved here, and I'm finally able to do it. So I operate best in spaces where things are organized. So being able to organize, being able to create some structure for him, in this chaos has been good for me.
Good. Well, name one more thing, because if you're really tired, organizing is not gonna be your goal.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, okay, I'll take that back. I have sat down and was able to watch a show that I've been wanting to watch. Does that count?
That does.
Okay.
It does. Because it's time for yourself.
Right. Yeah, it was about an hour and 45 minutes of just me.
Yeah. And see, how were you able to do that?
Because I made time.
Okay. And whatever that time was, and this is something, again, when we talk about things for you to consider between now and the next session, you want to think of, when was I able to do it? What was I doing? What did I put in place to make sure it was done? What are those realistic things that you can do? What are the supports that you may need to do it? Whether it's asking your husband, hey, could you all go into the room? The kids are already down, but could you just stay in there with them, make sure, they don't stir or whatever, and I can have this hour or this hour and a half, hour 45, like that. That is how you ensure that you schedule that time. And it doesn't have to be every day, of course. It's just that you have it scheduled. Just like you said, you're an overachiever. You like to have things in place and scheduled. And I'm like that as well. And it's like the best thing that you can do is keep a schedule.
Right.
Even if the schedule is, hey, this is when, I am organizing, and I'm organizing at a time where I know I have more energy, and I'm having him help with some pieces, or I know he gets engrossed in all the color paper or the pencils or color pencils, crayons. So I'm going to have him his little station over here when I know I have energy, and I'm going to come over here. So that's in the same room or next to him. And then I'm going to do my organizing, and that's going to make me feel fulfilled over there. And then times where, okay, I know I'm going to be losing my energy, and I know this is a consistent time in the day. This is when I'm going to sit aside, because then you have something to look forward to.
Right. Yeah, it was actually really nice to be able to sit down and like have that time of just, getting into a show and like not thinking about anything else. So I'm hoping that I can continue to make time for that. And it was partly because I did that. Brandon, hey, you got to take them and like just give me a minute,
Yeah. And that's good. And, have it where there's an agreement with you guys so that you can know and keep it consistent. Because when you're working with people of, whether it's your husband, your family, your friends, everybody has their own agenda. Everybody else is going through their own struggles, especially during this time of quarantine. And you want to make sure that you're setting up a plan with him. Like, I know that you're going to want your time aside to sort of release and just not be bothered with us or the kids. But when are you going to do it so that it's different from when I want to do mine? And
right.
Keep it regular, because if it's not regular, then you're most likely going to keep going down that spiral and even carry him into it, where then you're butting heads with each other, because it's like, didn't I tell you, I wanted to have this time?
Right.
I thought I was going to have this time. You weren't doing anything. It's like, well, how was I supposed to know? You want to stay away from that as well, because that's not going to help you either. And that would surely lead you to drinking again. So we're going to do everything that we can to really pull you away, and definitely set yourself up for success. Anything you think about, and like I said, between now and when we meet again, take that time out. Sit down, even if it's, he's coloring, let me sit over here with a little sticky note and write on here, this is what you're going to do today, during this time, so that you remember. And if you come up with any ideas, jot that down as well and stick it somewhere that it's like, what am I going to do? What are my options? I'm so frustrated, I can't think straight, that you have reminders. You may not have the time to do journaling or things like that. So consider those things. You were able to identify 2. So at least try starting out with those 2 and make it realistic and something that you could actually strive to do regularly.
Okay. Yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to come up with one more thing next time.
And even if you don't, this is the thing, based off of what you were saying, the whole thing for you is to be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
You have to give yourself a break. You are really juggling 2 little bitties.
Yeah.
You really want to make sure that you're not beating yourself up. And that goes all the way back to not feeling like you're good enough. When you start having those thoughts of wanting them to be home, I wish they could stay home, but then you're like, okay, I'm frustrated. How am I balancing this? You want to make sure to check in with yourself. Okay, I'm going to do what I can today, and make arrangement with daycare as just in case, and whatever you could do just to balance it so that you can feel, okay, I'm fully present at work and I'm fully present with them. And this is me adjusting.
Right. Okay. I can breathe until the next time.
Well, truly, you have 5 minutes. I know you had to go early today, which is fine. I want you to truly take that time to do exactly what you just did too. You just took a deep breath. I'm sure that felt good out of all the tension.
It felt amazing.
So maybe that's something you can put in there too. Every now and then, just take a minute, just breathe. Next time when we have our session, I'll just be checking in on you. I don't want you to feel that you need to come back with, oh, I did this, whatever you're able to do, that's better than doing nothing at all. And the whole point is to make you feel more in tune and balanced for yourself so that you can be more present and not feeling so guilty when you're spending time with them. Okay. And in the next session as well, we'll probably do some deep breathing and guided imagery for you just to help you relax as well. Do about 10 or 15 minutes of that, but definitely feel free to try it on your own and use that to change your mind. Put yourself at a pause before you go for the wine glass.
Okay. I like that. Pause before the glass. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Pause before the glass. And it might make a difference. Like, what else could I do? Okay.
Okay.
And remember the effects of it, okay? Don't make it worse.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, kiss
Thank
you
you
for me, and we'll be good.
Okay.
All right.
Until next time.
Yes. I will see you then.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.